Okay, that's better. Sorry, I tried to go live and it was so bright in this south facing room with black walls that I had to try again. So here we are. If you join us, I'm really excited to talk to you about white walls today. Somebody had written in and asked, should I paint my walls white to make them feel bigger? And I'm going to try and use some photos on this live to show you some examples of why it is sometimes right and sometimes not right. So let's see. I'm in my south-facing office, which is a disaster right now, and I may or may not show you what it looks like. But this is what it looked like when we purchased the home. And I still have plans to build out a wall of built-ins on, let's see, hopefully that worked, on the left side of the fireplace along that wall that's directly opposite the windows. But you can see that the seller did what most people do, which is they painted the room white to try and make it feel bigger. But it's a small room. There's not a lot you can do there's nothing you can do to actually change the size of the room. So does white make it feel bigger? In this case, it actually didn't. It was such a small room, and being south-facing, it makes it so bright. When the sun comes in, I actually had to lower one of my shades, and I might have to lower a little bit more. You can see how much sun is hitting me right now because the sun moves across the room the whole day. So I'd say if you have a south-facing room, you may want to reconsider white. Dark colors actually recede, and so let me see if I can put up a picture. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. This is a shameful moment for me, but I am doing a lot to my office right now, and so there's just stuff everywhere. So I'm gonna show you what my office looks like right now. This is real life, horrible real life, where before Christmas things are getting moved around. Like I said, I'm gonna be having a wall of built-ins put in hopefully in the next few months. So everything's just crazy. But you can see with the black walls that it actually made the room feel bigger because those dark colors recede. So you have to ask yourself, do you want white walls because you simply want the space to feel bigger? Or do you want white walls because you like that white look? So let me see if I can find these photos that I had saved for this and show you some examples of where white works really well. So let's see, here's a designer. I'm gonna have to pull up her name because of course my notes just shut down on me. Okay, so this designer, Valerie Grant Interiors, has used white here, and of course the space feels big, but it also is big. This is a physically large space, and I think people see interiors like this and they go, yes, I want white. I like how clean that looks, how airy and bright. And so they think, let's do white. But you can actually tell here from the lighting, this is not a naturally super bright part of the house. So that works. They're not gonna get that insane sunlight like you get in a south-facing room. So white works better. But I would never want to put white in a directly north-facing room because then it's just gonna look kind of cold and dreary all the time, more like an apartment. But if you are gonna do white, having elements like Valerie Grant has done here with lots of trim work and moldings. Of course, the cabinets add a lot of texture. Here's another one of her interiors, an entryway. You see again, paneling. There's contrast with the wood that she's got going on, the wood elements, the metal on the railing, the metal on the table. Here's another entryway. You see, again, more wood to keep it from feeling too cold, lots of moldings and paneling, because what can happen, here's another one of her interiors. Again, lots of textures. It's a nice soft white. She's got a reflective high gloss ceiling. And of course, lots of interest from the fireplace and the ceiling moldings and the built-ins. But what can happen is you can end up with, and of course now my space, my phone's not showing it, but you can end up using white and creating the my landlord won't let me paint look when you do white in either a north-facing room where it doesn't get really any direct sunlight throughout the day, and not the reflected sunlight that you'll get, in the east or the west, if you don't have a direct exposure. So you won't get that. You just get a dreary feeling. So don't do it in a north-facing room. It's better to pick like a warmer, lighter color in a north-facing room. And if you have a south-facing room, definitely don't do it unless you want to be blinded. And if you are going to do it, add in lots of textures, lots of molding if you can. Be really intentional with your art, like nice large scale art, like what I've got behind me. So that again, if you look at what Valerie Grant has done here, and there's always something to look at besides just a white wall. That's where people go really wrong with white, is they paint the room white and they just kind of expect it to all work out. And without these intentional details like Valerie Grant has done, with the moldings and large scale mirrors and art, and in this case, cabinetry and a coffered ceiling. If you don't add in those details, it's just gonna look like your first apartment. And of course, there's some exceptions, as if you have like a loft or some space like that, or really open concept plan, that can work well. White can work well there. I still think you need to add texture. I still think you need to add moldings and detail and large scale art or intentional art groupings. But white is a commitment. When you commit to white, if you notice in the pictures I just showed you, it's carried throughout. Oh, I just found that picture. So here's the picture of a clean, simple apartment. And some of you say, well, that's not what my house looks like, so why is she showing me that? If you take away the very small kitchenette and, somebody's, apartment type furniture, it looks like somebody's first apartment there, if you take that away, look at the walls, look at the light fixtures, look at the ceiling. Okay, you have very simple, like probably laminate flooring. You don't have any substantial moldings on the wall. There's no crown. I myself live in a house without crown molding on the ceilings, or up against, the top of the wall. And like many homes in Virginia, you've got one light fixture in the center of the room. So if that has some elements of your home, again, think twice about painting white, because this is kind of the effect that you're going to get. Bland, boring. It does not do anything to go make you say, that's a huge room. In my opinion, it's better to add color that you really like. If you're only doing white to make the space feel bigger, pick a paint color that you really like to at least make it have some personality and intentionality. And if you are set on white because you love white, then go big with the art. Add lots of textures and other, light off-whites. And also make sure you match your under hue. Some whites have some yellow in them, some have some blue, some have some gray, some have some pink beige, some have some purple. So make sure that you get the under hue right, with a color consultation. If you need that, we can help you with that. Or if you know about color theory, that shouldn't be a problem. But get your under hues right on your white. Add in texture, add in molding if you can. Be intentional with your artwork. And then the final thing is make sure that you have more than one just central light fixture. Make sure you have lots of layers of lighting in for the whites, like sconces on your wall, table lamps, anything to just not have the white look like gray because, or dingy because it's just not well lit. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I'm going to post this on an IGTV channel, I guess, for our profiles. So hopefully someone will see this. If they didn't get to tune in live, we will be back. I don't know what days we're going to be doing these, but we're going to make a routine out of this. I promise you that. Keep sending your questions. I hope everyone has a great holiday. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. I know Kwanzaa's starting, I think, the week after. So happy Kwanzaa as well.